cancel my stream on me. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Zuggo said what happened.
Yeah, I know that. I thought that was because I was having problems with getting the specific window capture.
I think you might have. Or your techie caught onto it.
Hey, thanks. Sorry about that. I mean, it just stopped streaming for some reason. Now, okay, I'll start you in this area for the tour. This is a room for taking berries and turning them into stuff. So it would be berries and pineapple and cassava and stuff like that. We have this, the distillery, to make aquavitae, which can be used on bandages. It can be drank, but it's also bandages. We can make mead, and of course we can make wine. See how it's kind of going funky? Wait till it goes really funky. I'm just gonna drink the whole darn thing, and I should see. Yeah, boy. Yeah, okay. Blame Shadow for the hiccup. That'll work. I'm drunk. You can get drunk in the game. It's kind of funny. They see there's the berry fields. This is where we keep the tree farm for his production. This is where we usually grow crops, but we're on hiatus because we're going to be doing our own server soon. You get fruit trees in this game, so you can make grow fruit trees. And of course you can do this. This is compost. Because your garden requires certain nutrients for things to grow. Certain crops need certain nutrients. See at the top, nutrient levels. Nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus, I think those are the three. So any crop with those letters can or will not work. Depends on how good it is. So I make compost out of rot. Don't ask about that. That didn't happen. I didn't see that. I'm just trying to get this thing. Oh yeah, it's F&R. There we go. No, and thank you. Since these things are only partly rotted, I'm putting them in there. And we're going to put the compost away. And I ran out of room for that because Elemental hasn't been on for a while. And then, as you can see, we got really cool trees in here too. And this is acacia wood, believe it or not. This is acacia. I mean, look at this burnished orangey red color. It's just so cool. That's larch wood up there. Now you can't do things with bushes, like make bushes out of leaves. Oh, it's prettier than the modded redwood, trust me. You can carry lanterns in your offhand. And we have these. If you play this game, you get sailboats. You can remove these to put in an elk, or to have more benches out for your friends. And you can even ride on the rat lines. It has an anchor too, but you know it doesn't do much. It's just decorative at the moment. That's the rafts. You use these to guide them. Now, okay, this game has a storyline. And this is the storyline. And all these things came from dungeons that we found. It has wallpaper. You buy it because this is from an ancient time. It has a resonator with scrolls so you can listen to the story. And some music. Of course, bookshelves with more lore. So this game has lore in it. It also has monsters that come out at a certain time, and they're worse at one time than another. This is all the leather room. This is where you go to do your leather work. See? And you can dye cloth as well as do leather, and then all this is for storage. I have a recurve bow because I'm a hunter, because you have classes in the game. You don't have to use them. You don't have to use the mechanic at all. But if you're playing with multiple people, my husband's a clockmaker. He can make things really easily. My daughter, I believe she's a blackguard, so she's good at fighting mobs. I'm good at hunting things. I get a bonus when I do the kill. Like once I kill it and I try to strip it for its resources, I get more resources. And this is what I do in my off time. I make candles. Candles go in our lanterns. And they can go on the table. And I can use this, which is a kiln. And if you open these gates up, you'll get different colors of these. And those. And all of the food containers that I make. And then you have to light it up under here. So, anyway. See? You light it up there. I put the block on to keep the heat in. And then you just cook this, because you use clay to create. So if I took a piece of clay, or a chunk of clay, and I aim it at the ground, as you can see, I got a whole recipe of things I can make, like storage vessels, shingles, crucibles that my husband uses, flower pots, bowls, planters, cook pots, prospecting. This is for when you do the first level, which is copper. So you do poured molds. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. You can pan with these special soils and all the different types of gravel except for muddy. And this, this might interest you. This is where you do coal, right? Charcoal. You just put firewood in here, and you close the door. You light it from up there, and it makes, you set a campfire up there, and then you light it, and it makes charcoal. And then you have the bloomeries for iron. No, it's, the villagers aren't quite like what you have in Minecraft. We don't have enchantments or anything like that. There's mods you can get that'll put enchantments on things, though. This oven is a coke oven for making, I would guess it's a more powerful fuel. The bloomeries, like I said, they're for doing glass and for doing iron. You get the bloom, iron bloom, and you put it on an anvil. We have helve hammers, so we have automated, see, with windmills. And it'll take the bloom off and it'll turn it into an ingot. And then the same thing goes for blister steel. As you make steel, you have to soak this in water when you're done. You can find meteors. This is where you do like liquid metal for pouring into ingots. Some ingots are made for pouring, some are not. And this, of course, is for doing steel. I've forgotten how it works, but I carved this because there's chisels in the game. Chisels that allow you to get down to one, like basically one pixel of it. And then you put the coal in the bottom of here. And then you put this in here with charcoal. And away it goes. You shut the door and you wait till 3 or 4 in-game days and you've got steel. And you can do a lot with all of these things too. You just have to heat them up, and you can determine that the plates that you use to make the lanterns, because you have to use a plate to make them. And you also use things to make armor. And you have this, which is a pulverizer that crushes blocks. And you have hoppers, obviously, and this that help output that. And then you have this, which controls whether or not the windmill is active. And then this over here. This is an actual forge. Oh. Of course, I have to turn this on if I want to use mine in the kitchen. Something in our series that we're going to make, we will go around. I'm also not going to have the bad mobs in it, or I'm going to have passives. Ones that aren't aggro. Because I don't like aggro mobs anymore. It's just too much stress. This is the kitchen, where you get your food. You cook some food in a pot. You just have to add the ingredients and then add the firewood. This is for making pie and bread. And here is where I do corn for making flour. Make interesting glass. You can carve glass too if you really want to. And all of these things. Let's see, I'm storing this in here till like through the winter. If I was living in a climate that was really, really cold, you'd have to do this before winter. And then you can make, see, 1.2 years, 107 days, 79 days, 1.7 years. And then the cheese, of course, is like 8 years. The cheese will last. And veggies and stuff. See, we can grow soybeans and peanuts and pineapple when we have it. Carrots, cabbage, onions, and we have potatoes yet. Carrots, onions, cabbage, cassava, olives are free, and parsnips. That's because we live far enough south that we can have an olive tree and an orange tree and whatnot. Not, those are actually bracing beams for mining. Because when you mine, you can, depending on what block settings you have for it, there's stability in the blocks. So when you go mining, you have to put up sometimes those support beams in order to keep the ceiling from falling on you. Or you have to learn how to use a pickaxe from a distance. I'm in something called Gambeson armor, I believe. Just get it to my character sheet, which I keep forgetting how to do. So that's a temporal gear. That's how you set spawns. So you can set spawns pretty much anywhere, but you have to have one of these. That's just decorative. That's decorative. That's decorative. That's useful. Decorative again. And see how I've got all my hunter's clothes. And I've got Gambeson armor, which is tier 2 armor. It's decent. It doesn't make me as hungry as if I was wearing metal armor, and it does, I make less noise. And there's a glider in it. It works differently though. Yeah, we go here. So we even get baskets too. And the first thing you start out with making as far as tools go is flint. You make spearheads and whatnot. So if I wanted to make a blade knife, as you can see, it makes a pattern. And all I have to do for this particular task is to do the outline. In some of them, you'll have to do the whole thing. In other things, you just do the outline. And when you're doing smithing, there's my flint knife, and all it needs is a handle. But when I'm doing smithing work, we have to heat up the item that we want to smith. Which is what Shadow's doing right now. My husband is streaming, and he's showing how the smithing works, because I don't do a lot of smithing. I am a bit of a noob at it right now. Sorry? Oh no. Yeah, his mic's not working right now, but as you can see, you heat up. This is coppernickel. I think he's making the tubes because you can make a teleporter that'll take you back to your body if you die. Right back to where your corpse is. Okay, there's it. Okay, now I can show you what he's doing because I've got a hammer in my hand. And look, are you making a tube? So he's going to make a cylinder. Too good at dames to die. So check out this. Now this is how mining works and how crafting with metals works in this game. You have to move the pixels around. And then these pixels get broken off. So you have these pixels that need to be put in place. And if you have leftover pixels, you break them. I can do simplistic stuff. I can't even make a hammer yet. I mean, it is a lot of fun. The Vintage Story Discord has a bunch of different communities. There is a really cool community called Blissy that you can also join. I'm a community that's related to a streamer who does this. Or did this for a while. Yeah, this was a spin-off server from the one that I was in. I sometimes play the other one though, when it's up and active. And then you have to take it over. So you get a set of tongs in your hand because you put them in your offhand. You take a set of tongs, you throw the item in, and I accidentally picked it up. So I am not going to touch that with my bare hands. Because then I'll start screaming like a banshee about the fact that it's hot. Because it is hot. Where's your tongs? There they are. So I just shove the tongs in my offhand. See? And then we drop it in the water bath. So if you've ever wanted to do old-fashioned, old-timey-wimey smithy work, this is your chance. Like I said, he's working on rods for that device he's got to make. And it's a technological device. There's more work or more stuff being planned in the future for the game. Where do you want this? In with the Jonas parts? See? Jonas parts, assemblies, sub-assemblies, temporal clocks. You have to take all those, put them together, and make the assembly that will allow you to teleport. And it's pretty cool. And you only pay a temporal gear for the teleportation. You can go solo in this game. And in this game, you can play solo. I actually looked into if there's something near you, but you can't go solo. Oh, in real life. Oh, wow. Now that would be fun, wouldn't it? My husband would probably like doing it. He's just crazy enough like you. He was thinking about going into doing blacksmithing type stuff in the real life. But there was nothing near them and couldn't go solo. Well, you have to sort of apprentice to do this job, don't you? So as you can see, he's just forming it again. I'll show you the glider. He does that. See, we come up here to also light these. Well, we don't have to light this anymore. But we do have to light this one. And then this is just access to the windmill. Because the parts go all the way up there. The higher you are and the more blades you have going in different directions, the stronger your, power will be. I put this in here as decoration. And yes, I made a flat roof because, it's kind of a thing. I don't like building pointy roofs. I really don't. So, we're going to use a glider. The glider is somewhat similar to Minecraft, but you don't have rockets or anything. You have to jump off. And then, as you can see, I can do it when I'm just standing still. It'll push me forward. Now, I'm still getting used to doing this. I'm not amazing with the glider yet. Not by a long shot. I splatted myself the other day trying to go off the top of the windmill after I was taking photos. Because I wanted to have some pictures to put on my YouTube. There you go. See? I just glided and I landed. But it does take up one of my backpack slots. The game has backpacks of different sizes as you go. Hello, baby. Hello. Your elk can carry, if it's sturdy leather that made it, it can carry this much. When they do the update that they're doing, we'll be able to carry temporal gears on it, a cook pot on the elk, and a few other things, including like this little guy has a lantern as well, so you can see at night. And you can use 2 different types of bits along with the set. You have a curb bit for long distance. It just means that you don't have to hold the W key. And then I use the snaffle bit because it's a little easier for me. Because then you have to use the R button to make it move. And when you stop using the R button, it stops. Yep. Yeah. Yes, you can lean things up against trees. That's ebony wood. And then, of course, it's acacia. So this is just the basics of the raft. I think you can put storage on the raft. I can't remember. All I know is the boat's got storage. And Shadow and I worked our butts off. And for the map, there's also a color version of the map, so don't worry. We made it so that we could sail all the way from here, go through here, and end up in the ocean. This was truly tough. My parents got home, got a day out thing for my brother and his partner. First, they weren't enjoying it by the end of the day. They liked it, made themselves 2 kitchenette. Oh, wow, that would be fun. I'm telling you. So now I'm in the pilot seat, and as you can see, as soon as you get in the pilot seat, sails go down. The update is also going to bring the ability to put shields on the side as decoration, a thing on the front, some sort of critter, and you'll be able to sail the boat in a different way than you used to. It's going to become a lot easier. It's going to go with the wind. And you're hearing the music right now. When you're doing woodwork, I think you can make sticks out of logs. But you also have the logs when you cut down the tree, and then you make boards. You make tool racks and doors. And what did you do, dear? Oh dear. He doesn't remember his bike. He's still learning how to be a streamer. It's okay. How goes the tools? Yeah, I think we only need, what, 6 rods for this? Okay, what's it called again? Base teleporter? I think it's a return teleporter of some kind. Is it a terminus teleporter? I can't remember which one it is, dear. Okay, so it's a terminus, are you sure? Yeah, it's a technical device. So you have a guide when you start this game. If you decide to play it, you're not left totally stranded like some of the games. As you can see, there's napping. It tells you how to do napping and everything else as you go. Tamed mountables. First steps. You can eat bamboo shoots. You can eat bread, but you can't make bread right away. And the guides. And then you can do searches as well. So with charcoal burning, it'll tell you what you have to do. Building a fire pit, it tells you what the size is. Your first ceramics would be done in one of these. It's a pit kiln. Yes, ma'am. But I hope it was a good tour for you. To show you what the game has to offer. I mean, it's quite cool. It was made by the same people as made Terra Firmacraft. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it was a mod. But they didn't like that there's still too many limitations in Minecraft for them to do anything further than they wanted to do. I don't know if that's changed recently, but they decided to go off and make their own game called Vintage Story. So it's a game you've heard, but you haven't. Oh yeah, it's Eric Firmacraft. Well, this one, it still has all the block science and everything else, but you have chisels. So I can chisel right down to the micro. When you want to cut wood, you have to have a saw. You need shears if you're going to cut things like leaves and stuff. We don't have wool production yet, but I think that's another thing that's in the making. So I need the chisel. I need a new one. 6. That. And I'll just show you. I won't do it because I don't want to wreck this, but I can show you. Okay, wait a minute. I can just get another block. Polished granite here. Doesn't matter because I'm not going to be in here for much longer. You click on it, and as you can see, I'm right down to the pixel. I can do whatever I want, right down to the pixel. And if I do this, I can also flip them. I can rotate it, and I can do chunks. I can also add them back. Yep, see? I can also put pretty much everything back that I want. And, oh, God, you should see the work. If it didn't take so long to get to the north, I could show you some people's chisel work. It's just insane. Oh, God, they're so skilled with a chisel. It's just, it's mind-blowing. I hope to be as good someday. Hope. I don't think I will, but I hope. I mean, I've done minor projects, like this thing was something I chiseled here. To make the water tank, I had to use 2 blocks together and then chisel at the center, and then when you break it, it breaks into pieces, but then you can put it back together the way you created it. So all in all, it's a fun game. I won't deny that. I took 6 months off to do it. It's where I was when I was supposed to be on your server playing. I had just gotten it for a gift. My daughter bought it for me, and I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun, and I couldn't stop playing it. It was, my name is Dark Witch, and I'm an addict. Actually, if I get into any game and I get into it hard, then I literally can go for weeks or months or hours just playing the game. I'm kind of messed up that way. Don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun little game to play. It's got Minecrafty vibes. So for those of us who play Minecraft, it's, you know, similar. You can look up on YouTube and there's plenty of people who make comments. content on it. Nil Hero does Minecraft content or Vintage Story content. I think that's his name. I can't spell it properly because I can't really see the print when I'm watching him. And hang on. Let me try and find Floyd. So Nil Hero does chiseling really good and has a few mods that can show you what the modding is like in the game. This one doesn't have mods. This is all the me. If I'm gonna make a series, we're gonna make it and we're gonna add mods to it because there's some quality of life mods. Like I have an accessibility that I use that does scene brightness. See? If I didn't use the scene brightness, it would kind of look like this. It would be a lot darker to me. So I add the scene brightness in just so I can see in the house. And then you can control whether or not you want to hear or see weather effects. I believe it's just visual. Text alterations, I have them turned off so I can actually read text instead of guessing. Because when you're drunk and when you've got a temporal storm, your text is really weird. And of course it has color correction and camera movement. And that's just one of many mods, because there's a lot of modders in the modding community for this one as well. Some of whom probably do Minecraft as well. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm gonna have to let you guys go now, because food is ready. Food is important. It's hands are on, or basically pizza night, homemade pizza night. I am not missing this. No way. And yeah, it was no problem. I wanted to show you the game for a long time. It is a lot of fun to play. It has a bit of a learning curve when you first get in the game, but once you get into it, it's amazing. There are multiple settings for this game too, okay? When you go to start up a game, you can choose to turn off and on anything you want. You can make the landscape more lake and oceany or less lake and oceany. You can do all that kind of stuff. Depends on what you want the game to do. You can choose your starting area somewhat. You can choose the climate. Like, is it going to be freezing cold, boiling hot? There you go. I'm going to look and see if there's anyone on I can raid. Raiding is good. Disconnect that. Quit that part. But yeah, make sure you look at it. If you get the game and you're going to set up a game, make sure you look at all your options, okay? Don't do what I did and just make a random game and go, oh God, I'm in hell. Okay. I can send you off to Joe. Or Skiz. Joe. Oh, fine, okay. You may not even notice me. Yeah, good. Good. You better go along for the raid then, Elementi. Just say hi to Joe and give him my greetings as crazy lady. Don't say the crazy lady part. And I will see you again really, really soon. And we are